Yo, I lost some of my voice, but it's all good. I'm mostly gonna play videos, so today I'm gonna react mostly to like the Drake shit. I'm gonna react to some videos about Drake, bruh, because I know Drake's popping off. He's trending. Trying to see what to do with my guns. I'm grinding the fuck out of this one. Alright, I'm gonna go find the video right now while I find a game. Well, that was quick. This other person's sus though. I hope it's not Hacker Man. But I'm glad I found a game this quick. Let me see what Drake's been doing.
More about my life and my faith.
I hope this is tolerable, bro. This sounds like some cringe commentary video.
So I'll leave a link below to subscribe if you're interested. So today's video is going to be about Drake. And I've held back for a while because I wasn't necessarily sure how interested people were in hearing about him. Because I feel like we can all collectively agree that Drake is just not the best person. I'm pretty sure that most people understand that. It goes without saying. But I really still think that it's important to talk just about his misogyny, his weird behavior towards young girls. I think these things are really important to talk about because even though in Hollywood it's basically a rite of passage to be a weirdo and to be a creep for a lot of the men and pretty much for even the women, like it's kind of a rite of passage to be that way. But I still think that it should not be normalized amongst us common people, us common folk. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just think it's important in general just to speak about these things and keep these sort of conversations alive, just so that way people don't think that this is okay or normal. Before we get into it, I want to actually give a shout out to today's sponsor, which is Notion. Things I want to do here. Around to fit yourself.
Dude, I'm getting a sponsor. This is annoying.
Very known, and he's definitely made his mark in the hip hop and Hollywood industry. But even with that, he's still extremely polarizing. So basically, with me, my little experience with Drake, because I used to be a fan of Drake. I used to listen to Drake heavily like 10 years ago, like literally 10, probably more than that, since I was like 11 or so. Because I think I started listening to Drake like right after So Far Gone and right before Take Care. That was when I was like in early middle school, and I was starting to get into hip hop and R&B and all this kind of stuff, like really getting into it. And, you know, I really enjoyed Drake, but I kind of started to fall off Drake because I felt like he was just really corny. And it's like, It's funny, I was in my music critic era back then. I was in my music critic era from like high school to early college. And so I was really into lyricism and lyrics, and I was like, bro, these lyrics are trash. Like, I was just like, eh. And then I started to kind of see through his facade. I started to see through his facade by the time I was like 16 or so. I was like, this guy is like, this guy's so
Yo, I'm
so
cooking.
It's important. I'm gonna really talk about this whole facade, but I really saw like through it. I started to see through it. So then also Drake's actions just started to take a turn for the worse, and so.
Bruh, she's making it too much about herself. Talk about, hurry up and talk about the underage stuff, man. I don't want to hear about your personal testimony. Make a whole nother video with that.
So I want to get into that. So I first want to bring up a Denver concert that Drake was a part of in 2010. This was his concert back when he was really starting to take off. This was right around So Far Gone. This was really when he started to really get a footing and really kind of be more known. So Drake was young at the time, he was 22 years old, and in this concert footage, you see him bringing up a fan, and he's kissing on her, caressing her, he's dancing with her, and then after a couple minutes of doing so, he asks her, how old is she? So she says that she's 17, and he starts saying, oh, whoa, I don't want to go to jail, but then he was like, oh, but you know, your breast just felt so good against my chest, and you're just so beautiful, like, how are you so thick for 17, and yada, 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 like, all this stuff. And then he says that, you know, I don't know if I should feel guilty about this. And then he says, well, I'm 23. It's okay. So this whole thing is just crazy.
Wild. Damn, everyone going crazy. Yeah. Jackass.
So there are quite a few people that argue that because this girl was 17, which in Colorado the age of consent is 16, people say that what Drake did wasn't illegal, and it wasn't. Like, let's just be real, it wasn't illegal, but do I think it was ethical? No. And my thing is this, like, a lot of people always want to cite the law in that instance when it comes to age of consent. And even in my last video about Honey Boo Boo, people were trying to say that the age of consent in Georgia was 16 and yada yada yada. But my thing is this, like, even if the person is of age in the law, I still think ethically it's weird. And I just think underage, you don't want to mess with someone that's underage, especially if you're a high-profile celebrity. Like, why would you even want to get that on your record, get that behind you? And now people are using this as leverage to talk about Drake's creepy and weird ways. Like, people are using this incident as leverage. And so why would you even want to put yourself in that position? And again, ethically and morally, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a woman, I'm just saying this because I'm a person with human decency. Anyone under 18 is off limits. It doesn't matter what the law says to me, that's off limits. It's just weird, it's gross, and you shouldn't risk it anyway. Alright, so I want to make clear that Drake and this girl's age difference was 6 years, so 17 and 23. And once you get into your 20s, that age difference is really not that crazy. But what I really want to make clear is the fact that people will try to use this excuse of like, oh, girls mature faster than boys, girls mature faster than boys. And while that is true, I hate how people try to use that as an excuse for a person who's 16, 17 to date a guy in their early 20s. Because let's be real here. You talk to a 16 or 17-year-old girl, they may be mature, but you can tell that they're still a kid. Like, let's keep it real. I have 16, 17-year-old family members, right? And I talk to them, a lot of times I'm like, oh, well, you know, they're so smart, they're so mature, they have their life together, they're doing school, they're this, that. But when I talk to them for a long period of time, I can tell that they're a kid. And I mean, I even think back to when I was 16, 17, I used to be told by a lot of adults that I was mature for my age. But when I look back, I think back, I'm like, I was a mature kid, but I was still a kid. Like, I used to journal, and my journal entries from that time, like, I can tell that I was still young. So my point is, stop trying to use that as an excuse. It's so annoying. And maybe I'm just annoyed because I got a lot of that on my last video, so I'm just like, bro, like, I just don't get how this is such a hard concept for people. I just don't get it. But anyway, back to the video. So the next incident I really want to discuss is probably the most high-profile incident with Drake, and this has to do with Millie Bobby Brown. So if you don't know Millie Bobby Brown, she is one of the
Uh-oh, Millie Bobby Brown arc.
things on Netflix.
Get ready, boys.
And essentially, Drake and Millie met up in around 2017.
Millie Bobby Brown arc.
At one of Drake's concerts, and Drake posted a photo of him and Millie, and he put the caption as Hawkins' Very Own, which is a play on his record label, which is called October's Very Own, and it's called
Oh, I missed him.
Drake was born in October, and so this was kind of a play on his record label. He put that in the caption.
Boom.
And I remember when this photo was
I wish I had a throwing knife kill
it
though.
was seen as like a Stranger Things times Drake crossover, and people just thought the crossover was dope, and I thought it was a really very own. Really want to discuss is probably the most high-profile incident with Drake, and this has to do with Millie Bobby Brown. So if you don't know Millie Bobby Brown, she is one of the lead characters in the hit show Stranger Things on Netflix, and essentially Drake and Millie met up in around 2017.
It was wild. They were like touching, doing the photo shoot and shit. Yeah, it's not looking good for Drake, guys. Drake shouldn't get into beef no more, bro, because people are just gonna come out with this shit. I'm about to get back on the video in a second, guys.
That's me right now.
Back, I'm gonna listen to the video again. In just a second. Oh, let me get into some cover, bro. I ain't ready to. Listen, I ain't ready to be in danger yet, bro.
At one of Drake's concerts, and Drake posted a photo of him and Millie, and he put the caption as Hawkins' Very Own, which is a play on his record label, which is called October's Very Own, and it's called October's Very Own because Drake was born in October, and so this was kind of a play on his record label. He put that in the caption, and I remember when this photo was posted, I thought it was really cool. It was seen as like a Stranger Things times Drake crossover, and people just thought the crossover was dope. And I thought it was a really cute photo, you know, didn't think anything of it. But things started to seem really weird and hazy when we get into a year later, where Millie is actually discussing her friendship with Drake in an interview. So Millie's on the red carpet.
Why Millie though, Drake? Why is it? It's because she's high profile.
About her relationship to Drake, and she's talking about how they're really close friends. They talk every day. They talk about how they miss each other and how Drake gives her advice for boys and things like that. And
What
that's when people alarm bells started to go off, because it's like, Drake, why are you like talking to this young teenager about these sorts of topics, and why are you talking to her so
Advice for boys? That's
I mean,
wild.
you shouldn't be doing that, even if it was like a relative. Even still, like, there's still boundaries that should be put in place when it's not your child. And so it was just really, really strange and really creepy. And I think this is where people really started to raise their eye to Drake and his behavior. And that's when a lot of things started to surface, like the concert footage from 2010. This is when people really started to give Drake the side eye, because it's just like, what are you doing to this child?
About your relationship with Drake. Tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about? I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited. Yeah.
You and Drake.
I miss you so much. I miss you. What the hell, bro? I got a bazooka, bitch. Bazooka, bitches. Bazooka. Oh, let me play this joint.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say? About boys. He helps me. What? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
what
He's
the
great.
heck?
He's wonderful. I love him. Advice with boys. You know, that stays in the text messages.
And so Millie ended up coming basically to Drake's defense and to their friendship's defense, and she posted this on her Instagram story, and it says, quote, "Why you gotta make a lovely friendship your headline? You guys are weird, for real. I'm lucky to have people in the business.
Damn, that's some
spend their
good
time to help me
grooming.
further my
Drake
career
got the
and offer their
grooming
wisdom and
handbook.
guidance. I'm very blessed
I ain't trying to be weird about it, but Drake do got the grooming handbook.
to have amazing people in my life. You don't get to choose that for me. It's nice to have people understand what I do. Now get back to talking about real problems in this world other than my friendships. Jeez." And so, honestly, this response by Millie doesn't surprise me, because she was a young teenager. She didn't really understand the gravity of the situation.
What are you
just how
talking about?
weird
That's
it
her
looked.
friend.
And, you know, this is where people started accusing Drake of grooming, because a lot of times with grooming behavior, it kind of starts with building trust with your victim. Building trust, building a friendship, making them feel like, oh, you can come to me for advice. We're really good friends. And that's kind of how it starts. And so a lot of people started to accuse Drake of grooming Millie, because this is just weird behavior and it shouldn't be happening. You're a 31-year-old man. You're not even acting like that anymore. What is your business with Millie? So I just thought that was very, very strange. There are also rumors that Drake was fooling around with Kylie Jenner when she was underage as well. Kanye actually revealed that Drake and Kylie had gotten together behind Travis Scott's back. And you know, Kanye, he be saying a whole bunch of things. He be spitting truth, but then he also be spitting a bunch of nonsense, and it's sometimes really hard to understand the difference. Kanye just went and spoke about this, and I think a lot of people feel like it's not far-fetched that Drake and Kylie got together when Kylie was young, because Kylie was also involved with Tyga when she was like 16, 17 years old, and the Kardashian family put their co-sign on that. They were like, oh, hey, this is great. This is awesome for our brand. So a lot of people felt that it's not far-fetched that Drake would be with Kylie. Again, it's not been confirmed, but again, I think it just shows that the fact that you're in the rumor mill for this is not good for your image at all. I will say, though, that if Kanye is telling the truth, and that's a big if, The timeline doesn't really match up because he said it was behind Travis Scott's back, and Kylie was of age by then, so she wasn't underage. But again, that's just still a lot of speculation, and I don't really think it's good that Drake is tied up in that speculation. This then also leads us to accusations that Drake was talking to Billie Eilish when she was underage, because Billie Eilish revealed in an interview with Vogue that she and Drake were really good friends and that they text. And so then again, people are like,
Damn,
why are
Drake
you
is just
talking
on
to
him,
girls
young as
that are
fuck.
underage, Drake? What is your obsession? Why are you so obsessed with them?
Damn, that was a good stealth
Giving him
bomber.
the side
They
eye.
caught up
And
with that.
Billie also defended Drake and said that, no, it's just innocent. We're just friends. Like, why can't he just be a fan of me? Yada, yada, yada.
Fuck,
and again,
no.
This doesn't surprise me because these girls were young, and I don't think they understand the full scope of this
Damn
situation.
it. All because of that stealth bomber, bro.
So, again, Drake being in the crosshairs for these sorts of rumors, and while nothing has been confirmed, it really just makes you wonder, what is this guy really on? What time is he really on? So next, I want to just touch briefly on his many infractions with just women in general. So older women with his exes, because he's had a lot of issues with them. And I kind of want to just touch on a few. And there's some that are as recent as November 2022, where he released his joint album with 21 Savage. And so he took shots at Serena Williams. He took shots at Megan Thee Stallion. He took shots at Serena's husband. He took
Megan Thee Stallion and Serena Williams? What the hell? Ain't no way bro mess with them. Bro, I'm watching some video of them talking about the history of Drake with underage, talking to underage girls and shit. And that man's like, he's always talking to bitches on the come up, bro. But it's good to have a good moderator here, man. That's all I'm watching. I mean, it's almost done, but she's not. I mean, I don't like her, her channel, whatever, her commentary, but exactly, Drake. She at least broke it down pretty finally. His history of talking to underage girls.
At a lot of different people, and so I kind of want to also detail those experiences as well. So one of the instances of Drake disrespecting people.
Drake is one of the most popular rappers today.
Oh no, this sounds too gay. I can't hear it.
If you're here because you want me to break down the Drake and Kendrick beef, that is what I'm gonna do.
I might want to hear the breakdown of the beef, but if you have any suggestions of videos to watch that are like commentary, informal, information based, anything, let me know, bro. Because I'm about to watch another video, or do you want to have a combo? You can have a combo with me, but I'm actually not in the mood to conversate, man. Wings of Redemption type shit.
First, we should address the elephant in the room. I'm not the guy for this job. I'm just not. You can look me up and down, look at my haircut, and know that I've probably listened to more video game music than regular music. And you'd be fucking right. And there's a high chance, if you're watching me break this down instead of someone who's more in depth with the culture and actually understands what's going on to a higher degree, you're also someone who listens to a lot of video game.
Oh, this is kind of being whack right now. Exactly, so I'll probably listen to videos.
Music. The anime OSTs. You're also likely white. I'm just saying, factually, you are likely white. But still, this is all I've been consuming over the past week.
Cool, and I'll talk about crime statistics and say the same thing.
Hearing it and not understanding what the fuck's going on, so I'm going to break it down for you. As an English literature major, I can do that. I can read lyrics in this. The song First Person Shooter featuring J. Cole, which is a fire song. In fact, almost all these songs except for one are amazing. And I can't really play the videos because it will get the video copyright strike, maybe banned, so I'm just going to read the lyrics. It started because J. Cole had a line that said, "Love when they argue about the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot, Kendrick? Is it Aubrey, Drake, or is it me? We're the big three." It's what they call them. The big three, we started a league. But right now, I feel like Muhammad Ali. I feel like I'm the champ. I'm maybe the best. I don't know, maybe I'm the champ. Who knows? And that was it. You know, just that one line started this all. Because then 4 months later, on a future Metro Boomin song, Kendrick Lamar was featured, like that, also a fire song, and said, "Fuck the big three, it is just me. Actually, I'm the best. Screw you guys." That was basically it. And then got into a little bit more of an analogy between him and Drake as Prince and Michael Jackson, but we're gonna ignore that for now. And then J. Cole, the guy who started it all, 5 months ago, when he
Picking up
dropped
guns is
Big
very
Three,
resourceful.
dropped a whole album called Might Delete Later, and in it had a song called 7 Minute Drill, which was at its core a diss on Kendrick Lamar. The whole song was that. And like, this is maybe one of the more iconic lines, but it goes through his albums. Your first shit was a classic, your last shit was tragic, and yeah, it goes through all the albums. And then within 48 hours of releasing this song, this diss track, live at one of his concerts, apologizes to Kendrick Lamar. But bear in mind, Kendrick hasn't said anything. He didn't come out with a song.
Damn, I was on a
being
streak.
like, "Man, can't believe you made a whole diss song." None of that happened. He just went on stage.
That God align me back up on my purpose and on my path.
Literally was praying to God that he would not do a diss on Kendrick again, because it's not what his soul should do.
You know what I mean? I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way. And if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot. I'm gonna take that shit on your chin, boy.
I hope Kendrick didn't take it personally. If you want to come back with a diss track, that's fine, but I'm just going to take it and I will not reply anymore. And everybody made fun of him. And as a guy who likes the J. Cole song where he talks about coming prematurely the first time he had sex, something that I really vibe with, you know, maybe in general, everyone thought he was a loser. They made fun of him relentlessly for days. And then eventually, Drake got involved. Because again, Kendrick did say, you know, fuck the big three, it's just, you know, big me. So J. Cole made his reply, backed out. After that, Drake comes out with his reply called Push-Ups. And if you cannot tell, this is a sticker that oftentimes is on a shoe, related to shoe size, because Kendrick Lamar is short, and he's a shoe size 7, which is small. And famously, Drake's got a giant penis. Anyway, in it, I think the most iconic line, at least to my estimation, he goes after a lot of people, not just Kendrick Lamar, but he says, "I be with some bodyguards like Whitney," which is a maybe triple entendre, because, you know, he's with bodyguards. Whitney Houston was in a movie called Bodyguard, and then also Whitney Alford is Kendrick Lamar's fiance, and you know, maybe he's saying she's sleeping around with bodyguards, maybe she needs a bodyguard because Kendrick has been accused of being a domestic violator, accused of domestic violence. So anyway, that's the line. And then drops a second track. Kendrick again hasn't said anything. One line total in this entire thing to this point, and he has had 3 songs made about him. Fuck the big 3. That's all he said. And 3 songs have been made about him.
Damn.
And this is the only song in this entire collection of songs we're gonna go through.
Kendrick triggered them all.
Sucks. It outright sucks, and it sucks because Drake used an AI voiceover thing to make him sound like Tupac, the deceased artist, and he, through the voice of Tupac, was saying, "Kendrick, you have to reply to Drake, and here are some things you can say. Like, you can talk about how Drake likes young girls." He's trying to, like, you know, pep up Kendrick through the voice of Tupac, and then also the voice of Snoop Dogg, who's alive, but he still used an AI filter to do that. And then at the end goes into like a 15-second diatribe about how goated Taylor Swift is.
Goated Taylor Swift is. Wow, that's so Drake, bro. Cornball ass white boy.
Cease and desist by the Tupac
I mean,
estate, and it blows because the AI was cringe. It was just fucking cringy and lame. Anyway, Kendrick replies. After being egged on for weeks, there's like 10 days of hiatus. Everyone's saying, "Damn, fucking Drake's going in. He won this rap beef." Kendrick doesn't even reply. He released a song
won
called
easily.
Euphoria. And in the song, I think probably the most biting line was, "How many more black features until you finally feel that you're black enough?" And in the totality of the song is kind of poking at Drake for But not like he's half white, half black, but more like maybe pretending to be black and using other black artists to bolster the fact that he's black and part of black culture, and maybe like faking being black sometimes. Drake's known for like he randomly had a Jamaican accent. He switches accents a lot.
Yeah, he had a Jamaican, a British, a Middle Eastern accent. This guy's all over the place.
And so he's making fun of that here. And that was the general vibe with Euphoria. Again, another fire song. And he ends with, "Hey, we don't want to hear you say the N-word anymore," in kind of a ballad. And then before Drake can reply, Kendrick drops another song, 616 in LA, which was released at 616 in Los Angeles. And if you look online, people say it's a quintuple entendre. I'm not going to get into that. But this one is mostly about how Drake has moles, how he has leaks inside of his entourage, his organization, and how he shouldn't trust the people around him because they are leaking a lot of stuff. That was the general vibe, and that was about it. Later that day, Drake releases Family Matters. Family Matters was like a 7-minute plus song that goes after a bunch of people. And I'm leaving out a lot of shit. Right? There's other characters, there's other people who are involved in this beef like Rick Ross. In this song, Drake also calls The Weeknd gay. That's in this. That happens. He has beef with The Weeknd. I think he makes fun of A$AP Rocky for dressing well and having a child. Bunch of other shit. We're focusing on Kendrick and Drake here. And this, if you don't know, is symbolic because it's the van from Good Kid, Mad City, one of Kendrick's biggest albums, and it's him crushing it to smithereens. And the biggest line
This is a good session so far.
is that Drake reveals that he heard one of Kendrick's kid might be Dave Freeze, one of Dave Freeze's kids. Claims basically Dave Free slept with, impregnated Kendrick's fiancee Whitney, and that one of their kids now is actually Dave Free's kid. Dave Free is a childhood friend, right-hand man of Kendrick. I'm reading this, co-founding a creative company and label of PG Lang together. They basically have a company together, and they're saying there's infidelity with his best friend and his fiancee, which is kind of a pretty bold statement to say. And then he says the N-word a bunch of times, presumably because Kendrick was like, "Hey, we don't want to hear you say the N-word," so he said it a shit ton of times.
Damn it, bro! I couldn't back out. I don't know if that guy was in the way or what.
But within 30 minutes of it coming out, 30 minutes, Kendrick released a song called "Meet the Grams," which is Drake's last name, Aubrey Graham. That's his last name. And I'm just gonna play. I've been able to play Kendrick's music without getting taken down, so I'm just gonna play the first 10 seconds to give you an idea.
Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father. Let me be honest. It takes a man to be a man. Your dad is not responsive.
Yeah, so he's saying Dear Adonis, which is the name of Drake's kid, which was revealed in a Pusha T beef a while back. You don't even know that, but he's basically doing a song that is a letter to different members of Drake's family, starting with
within 30 minutes of that
diss. Adonis, and he says he's not a man enough, and that he takes Ozempic to get abs, and Adonis, you shouldn't do this, you should do push-ups, and gives him like life advice. And that's already a very creative way to do a diss track, but then it gets fucking dark and heinous. And this is a song that you kind of
dark and heinous.
It's like a one-time thing, right? It's like watching The Conjuring. You're not going for yearly looks of it. It's kind of like Virgin Suicides with Kirsten Dunst. It would be weird if you watched that every single year, much like this song, because it's a bit haunting, would be weird to listen to like every single day on a run. Why? Well, I'll just play a line here.
Sandra, sit down. What I'm about to say is heavy.
Sandra's
Now
Drake's
listen.
mom.
Your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think niggas like him should die. Him and Weinstein should get fucked up in a cell for the rest of their life. He hates black women, hypersexualize them with kinks of an info fetish. Grew facial hair because he understood being the beard just fit him better.
Yeah, he said he did say that Drake, like Weinstein, should go into a jail cell and then just fucking die. And generally, it calls out Drake as a sex pest, a predator, and people shouldn't be near him and his crew because he also hires predators, and he specifically calls out like LeBron's family and Steph Curry's family and says, don't go near Drake, don't bring your children near them, they're predators. And then also, importantly, reveals that Drake has a hidden 11-year-old daughter that he has never released, told anyone about, has been keeping a secret. Which, if you don't know anything about Drake, is basically the only time he ever lost another rap feud, rap beef, is when Pusha T revealed that he had a son, Adonis. So after this song comes out, Drake creates an Instagram story. And he says, hold on, can someone find my hidden daughter, please, and send her to me? These guys are in shambles. Saying, hey, I don't have a daughter. That's crazy. But he didn't reply to him being a predator and a bunch of predators being a part of his team. It's basically like Kendrick said, hey, man, you have a secret daughter. Also, you're a pedo. And Drake's like, dude, the daughter part was fake. So a bunch of people started making fun of Drake online. And because of Kendrick's strategy of releasing within 30 minutes of Drake's song, it also overshadowed Drake's song. And online, everybody's saying, or the majority saying, that Kendrick won.
Yeah, and Kendrick ripping Drake, looks like.
But he wasn't done. Because yesterday, he released another song. Before Drake could reply, 2 songs. And the thumbnail for this song here is Drake's estate. It's called The Embassy, with a bunch of little markers here. Those markers, for your information, are what you would see on like a sex offender app to see sex offenders.
Oh,
here.
nah.
And he's basically saying there's like fucking 15 sex offenders that you have on payroll. And the song Not Like Us basically goes into depth about that. That Drake has a bunch of predators on payroll, goes into depth on one.
Bro, we win it, bro. This is a good fucking session right now. Fuck! Grenade.
He basically drops the whole daughter thing and just goes full in. He goes, you're a fucking predator and pedophile and you are a sex pest and you're a problem. And then also kind of ostracizes him from other like rap creators that Drake has worked with, and said that you use them to make yourself feel more black, and you basically use black people to become the biggest creator in the world without actually being a part of black culture yourself. Pretty fucking insane song. Also way more fun to listen to the previous one, which was much more haunting, and I think that is proven by the fact that it is the most viewed song of this entire feud. #1 on trending. It came out today. It has more views of any of the YouTube videos, more than Family Matters, more than Meet the Grams, even though it has been around for the least amount of time. Right? You really fucking have connected with this song. And then, finally, just a few hours ago, Drake replies. And still with the same sort of tune. And this is Dave Free. This is a screenshot of him dropping a heart on a picture of one of Kendrick's children. And he brings up the fact that Dave Free, Kendrick's close friend and associate,
Damn it, it was going good.
followed on Instagram 5.
It was gonna go good, man. I'm gonna listen to the song by Kendrick though. Not Like Us.
I see dead people.
Damn, 24 million views, bro. Let me hear this song.
Ay, monster on the beat, ho, Debo, rap nigga, yeah, free throw, man down, call her Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro, nail a nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these bony ass niggas trying to see Compton? The industry can hate me, fuck them all in they mama. How many options really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with him. Walking down whole time, I know he got some hoe in him. Pull on him, extra shit, bully the flow on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs. And party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baka got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 wop. That fuck him up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. They not like us. They not like us. They not.
Wait, yo, this could be copyright. Oh, let me get off of that. That song kind of sucked, bro.
On Instagram by Kendrick's fiance, and Kendrick himself is not followed by his fiance on Instagram. So again, trying to imply, hey man, your fiance and best friend had sex with each other and had a child, and now you call that one of your children. Also tried to defend against the underage pedophile predator allegations. And he said, I've never been with no one underage, but now I understand why this is the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I would have been arrested because I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested. Which makes no sense in my mind as a defense. I'm too famous to be a pedophile. You know, he does have better defenses later. He also says, like, I wouldn't do that because you shouldn't let the fact that you're famous stop you from being a pedophile. It should just be that you aren't attracted to fucking kids and don't want to be a pedophile. But I tweeted, I went on Twitter about this. I'm too famous to be a pedophile. It's crazy because there's so many famous pedophiles. I don't know the amount of pedophiles in the world, but I do feel like disproportionately they are famous. Because I feel like a lot of times people are using their fame, their power, to leverage it into doing heinous acts that otherwise the average citizen is not doing.
Damn it.
I have a list here of very famous pedophiles, the ones that we know of, many fucking others. And then the main actual...
That was funny. The basic line of Drake was basically saying, I'm too famous to be a pedophile. That nigga broke it down like that. Let's go, car bomb, baby. Another one. Good, I was about to call him mine for a second. Fuck, an H, man. Fucking bitch, 2 times in a row.
Like tea in this song is that he brought up some hypocrisy. The fact that Kendrick Lamar basically went on record, put his money on the line, and said, if you remove R. Kelly's songs from Spotify since 2018, when there's a lot of pressure to remove them from Spotify, he will remove his own songs from Spotify. And if you don't know by now, R. Kelly, fucking horrible predator, pedophile, terrible, terrible dude all around. So there is some hypocrisy there. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter, right? Like, I'm happy as a human in this world to be like, okay, well, yeah, Kendrick is a hypocrite, but Drake, I guess you do have
Damn, is he
a
leaving or
that's,
what?
You know, fucking not the most uptight guy. And there are a couple weird videos of Drake surfacing online. I don't know if he's a pedophile. I have no fucking clue. I don't have any insight to their life more than the average person. But ultimately, that, to me, doesn't maybe sway my mind.
The fact that he says, I don't even know. He says, I don't know. Is he?
Encapsulated one thought. Kendrick Lamar is...
Means he might think he is a pedo.
And you can look at that based off the views. You can look at it based off of public sentiment. You can even look at it based off like the like to dislike ratio that Drake is currently getting on his songs. But if you don't want to take my word for it, because ultimately I'm a guy who listened to Final Fantasy soundtrack for the first 18 years of his life. You can listen to DJ Academics, who is famously one of the biggest Drake diehards, say this on his stream.
On whatever you got, all of your intel, all of your feed, all of your inside information, all of your DMs, your text messages, whatever you got, you have data currently, right?
So with everything that you know, everything that you've heard of, you think Kendrick Lamar is up on Drake in this week?
Okay. Okay.
And he goes, yes, he is slightly up. And that's DJ Academic saying that, man. That's like Slime saying Mango's not the GOAT anymore. That's pretty big. Anyway, that's it. That's it for now. This is the best time to start actually keeping up with the shit that's going on, because this is probably once in a lifetime that two of the most commercially successful and one of the most critically successful artists are feuding. This shit once in a generation. Thank you for watching. This is my I just want to talk about it because
Damn, he got 1 million views from that too. He took a
that's a
risk.
lesson that I've seen time and time again in the online space. And if you think about different situations you've read or heard about, you realize it's probably true. Like with the Watcher YouTube channel a couple of weeks ago, the guys who wanted to paywall all their content, more people probably know about them for that fuck up than for the YouTube content they were making for years. It's no different for like YouTuber apologies. Usually you hear about that more than the actual YouTube videos they were making. And also for companies, the same situation holds true. It's also no different for me. I made a mogul mail a week ago, and it was my most disliked mogul mail yet. You don't have to go watch it. I'll recap it for you. Feel free to if you want. I'm not going to take it down. But basically, I made a video about a Twitch screw-up. They had a payment service that unsubscribed thousands of viewers from streamers, I should say, that they like to watch. And I came in from the perspective of a streamer with friends who were impacted by this, other streamers. And I thought, well, this sucks. They're going to lose out on thousands of dollars. It seems really unfair. And then people in the comments pushed back and they said, well, what do we... They're losing thousands of dollars, but the viewers who are paying those thousands of dollars are getting them back. And if they truly cared, they would resubscribe. They're not owed that money, and although maybe it sucks for those streamers, ultimately the viewers getting some money back is not a problem. And I think that ultimately is right. I'm coming from the POV, again, of a streamer, of a guy who's friends with the streamers who are affected. And these streamers who are affected aren't millionaires, but ultimately it is not necessarily like they are owed the subscription. They will have to fight for it back. It'd be better if it never happened at all. And I understand I am alone in that I subscribe to a fuck ton of people that I don't necessarily watch all the time. I just like supporting them, and I have that extra passion to do it. So I get it. That was a fuck up. And I think it's so much more impressive how people respond to fuck ups than necessarily like not fucking up at all, because that's kind of a hard ask to do. People fuck up, it happens. We have a situation today where an amazing company who made an amazing game had a fuck up, and they're about as big as their biggest fuck up. Lol, goodbye, Helldivers, types Iron Mouse, and they, if you haven't seen today, got review bombed to hell. 36,000 negative reviews added for Helldivers 2 today. 10% of all reviews since release. Now, why are they getting review bombed?
I had to throw that knife, man.
Well, it's because of a change they made to their terms of service. Basically, if you are someone who's played Helldivers 2, you now need to link your PlayStation account. Even if you are not playing on PlayStation, even if you're playing on Steam, on PC, like I do. Now, if you don't know the game Helldivers 2, it's a fucking godlike game. There's no other way to put it. It's like one of the best games that has come out in the past year, at least as far as like PvE games. There's no PvP aspect to it, but the PvE it's amazing. The only game I can think of off top that's as good PvE is like Left 4 Dead. It truly is like a rewarding experience. You can play with like a group of 4. I play with my friends. I put like about 10 hours into the game, and I have a blast. I am dog shit at it, but I have a blast spreading democracy. And in the year of games that we've had, where there's so many fucking good video games, this one, to me, shines at the top of that list. However, people are not happy with this new account linking update. People like Pirate Software said, not happening. I'm removing access from Steam players, unless they have a PSN account, and link it months after the release is absurd. Review changed to negative, and I have filed for a refund. And Pirate Software, we don't know, has probably put about 300 hours into this game, so he's not saying this lightly. Now, to the defense of Helldivers 2, this was on their Steam page since their launch 3 months ago. This is actually my screenshot. It says right here, requires third-party account, PlayStation Network supports linking to Steam account. That was on the page since the release. However, they did not enforce it. Basically like jaywalking. They said you kind of got to do it, but they never got anybody in trouble for not doing it. Just play it with only a Steam account. And if you go to the FAQ on PlayStation's own website, they would say signing into PSN is optional when playing a PlayStation game on PC. They have since changed this FAQ when they made this update today, and that's why people are not happy. Here's another page where it says, do I need a PSN account to play PlayStation games on PC? No, you do not, currently. Now they have changed this policy, and they're now saying you gotta do it with certain games, including Helldivers 2, which has millions and millions of players. And many people might think like this community manager for...
If everyone's gonna keep leaving, I mean, it's a sucky map anyway. Doesn't look like there's any more games.
Helldivers 2. It's not like this is the first or even the 14th mainstream game to require a third-party account. That takes a couple of minutes to create. But if it's a deal breaker, it's to take 120 seconds out of your day to enter in an email and a password, then forget about it, change your Steam review, and make your displeasure known on a platform where it matters. That's what they say. Maybe a little bit snippy, but people are bringing up really valid arguments in reply. For example, Sony is not the best... Mercedes Good points.
Mercedes moan.
I haven't watched this Jim Cornette.
In the back in front of a, I don't know if it was a green screen, made a nice little set, and she did an audition for a direct-to-video movie, I think, this week, rather than just the recitation of memorized lines. Normally she's got the inflection and the passion and the emotion of a table reading. But now I think this was an official audition for some type of direct-to-video production, because she put a little bit more oomph into it. Maybe it was written by Alexandra Pepperday.
It reminded me of, years ago, you would know better than I, there was a special about Ring of Honor, and it showed you and promo for a feud or anything. It's more, like you said, congratulations for getting all this money.
Yeah,
It's really what it comes down to. She's giving this speech. They're losing their minds. Again, I didn't like it. It's not what I want. It was during this speech it just hit me. I'm sick of hearing these wrestlers give speeches about their emotions.
For real.
Yes.
I'm not saying don't have...
I don't give a fuck about anybody's emotions. Why would I give a fuck unless they're mad? Then I want to hear about it in detail.
Now again, that's me. I will say that room was losing their mind. They were really into it. When you see what else was on this show, this may have been the only thing that really got... I mean, they drew a big house. They drew like over 9,000 people there, I think. So, for the first night in their hometown, this was a major success. I don't know how that will be going forward, especially if they're taking someone, even if she was, you know, an all-time great, like a Gus Sonnenberg or a Rhea Ripley. Putting her in that division?
Okay,
I said a lot. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I'm willing to go with you for the time being. That she's good in the ring, and I'll see for myself. But she don't need long promos. It's all about my feelings, and I'm saying, I thank you. No, thank you. No, it's like a fucking Chip and Dale goddamn cartoon.
Crying about fucking
With this bunch of
WWE.
soft-ass fucking wrestlers thanking the soft-ass fans. And the fans' chants had more inflection and feeling in them than this prepared award show thank you speech that it sounded like. That's what I thought. She's up there at the goddamn Golden Globes. And when she finally gets to, okay, why is she here? Now we're getting somewhere. She's here because I need to be here. AEW is the only place where this can go global. What? You just left the only place where this could go global.
That was a weird line for her to use here, wasn't it?
Yeah, because she was global. And now she's geographical. Or goddamn hemispherical. And then she said tonight, and this is when I realized they've lost their minds. She said tonight, Willow versus Riho is our main event. And I've got unfinished business with Willow.
Damn it.
And that was all she said about that pretty much. But now, so the main event of this program is Willow Nightingale versus Riho, so that Tony thinks that people will stick around through this fiasco for 2 hours to see Sasha Banks do a run-in. And they're out of their minds. And I bet the ratings will show that. But nevertheless, she thanked Tony Khan and told the fans to say hello to their new CEO. And then she seductively took off her jacket to reveal herself in skimpy costuming and did a little stripper dance and danced backwards up the ramp out of the arena.
Damn it.
And what the... How many millions of dollars?
Finally, we got full lobby.
Many millions. And again, it's a good opening night. If you're into this and you're there, they were into it. You know, part of me think it's a missed opportunity because we're going to get someone like that. She has this kind of popularity. Try to start an all-women's group beer company, an all-women's TV show. Because it's good night one. These women's segments die at death on this show every single week. So it's a special night, big crowd. They're going to Toronto next. Apparently it'll be another nice-sized crowd. A 5,000 range, I would guess.
For Edge and Christian, you know, blow off of their
Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. You can't call him just Christian because that part is owned by WWE, but with the last name, it's owned by him.
Okay, well, whichever two of these fucking mullet heads it is, the point is that Sasha Banks just got 9,000 in Boston to come out and do a bad fucking promo. So,
damn.
You mean to tell me Edge and Christian or whatever they're going as these days only going to get 5,000 in their hometown to have a match? Jumping Jehoshaphat.
Well, maybe they'll do more. Again, we'll see how it works out, but... Well, how do you rank the Mercedes Moné debut? What do you think of it compared to other big debuts in AEW? And
what?
I don't know what else to ask.
She has a fan base, apparently, from what we're told, that likes her wherever she goes and what she does. So if she can bring those people, whatever that number is, into AEW in addition to who they already had, then maybe they've got a few more. And that would be nice for them, but based on performance of anything besides taking her fucking clothes off, this was, for me, not knowing really that much about her or having seen that much of her, or if I have, it ain't registered. And this was another girl doing another interview that she sounds like she memorized. This is not a game-changing, world-shaking, male or female acquisition. I'd rather see Chris Statlander get used to her potential than this one come in for millions of dollars to do a stripper dance. What the fuck else did she do here? She said nothing except, "Oh, I love all you people. It's always been my dream to be here."
Excuse me.
I was hoping she would name drop Sheldon Goldberg, but it never happened.
Well, and that's because, you know, it was a bitter breakup that Sheldon initiated.
Damn, they rage quit.
I'm not supposed to talk about that.
Bitch.
Well, she couldn't handle the size of his... Anyway,
collection.
His size of his collection, his all of his package was so huge. To what did you think? That are we done with Sasha Monet here? Whatever she'll be out later on, I assume, because the DVR froze again. But you can tell me when we get there.
Wow, I wish I got throwing that though, man. Shiraji didn't get learned about the knife. Throwing knife that I missed.
So then we got Dino against Mac Daddy. Now okay, well they were in Toronto, and of course we know that is in North America, probably along with Philadelphia, I would think, and New York, the most noted smart audiences. It's they'll come, they know what's going on. And they had a crowd, it looked like. I don't know, you might have a count by the time that what else have we got here? You've thrown me all out. And here's another thing. I've got no light today in the office.
All right, it's a quick trip, not trap.
Time travel always takes so long. You're trying to figure out how to get your mouth in position to...
That sucks.
Formulate a coherent sentence.
That is correct.
Boys, I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm just gonna check my classes. My creator class. Maybe. Damn it, bro. Still not level 25. Not even close. Maybe. .99's not a bad player count right now.
Right, a quick trap here to the future. We've been talking about AEW Dynamite, a barn burner of a show.
Try as we might, we could not dawdle about long enough for the ratings to come out, so we took a little break just so, because we couldn't leave the people hanging on this one, hanging on the edge of the cliff.
Well, we'll find out about cliffs in this episode here. Here. AEW Dynamite on TBS, AEW Big Business, I believe it was, Wednesday, March 13th, 2024, 8 to 10:06 p.m. On average, not counting the overrun, which Nielsen, according to WrestleNomics, the reporting of WrestleNomics, overrun not included due to Nielsen error, 801,000 viewers.
Ouch! So it worked in the newest Game Changers hometown, but it didn't.
Attention, you may know, but if you're someone who only knows her as Sasha Banks, you may not. Did they do the right thing? Was this the best case scenario because that's just where her popularity is? Or even if that's the case, could this have been a bigger thing? What do you think?
Here, without being involved in the contract negotiations with this company, you never know. Was there something screwy going on that they couldn't announce her? Were all the I's dotted and the T's crossed? I mean, it seems like they were, because not only did they strongly insinuate and was talking about on Twitter. That day that they were there to support her in her debut, but the company officially never said yes. The artist formerly known as Sasha Banks, and now now I've lost her goddamn new name of Mercedes Moné.
Monet, not Mo.
Mercedes Moan. As a
No.
matter of fact, that's what people are doing probably now, moaning. But they did everything to say she was going to be there, and she was there. So if the point I'm making is, unless there was some bizarre reason that we are not aware of, that they couldn't officially say this, and I can't imagine what that reason would be, Yes, they shit the bed. Because I'm trying to.
Yo, that shit worked.
There was some back the first time Punk made his debut, not the re-debut.
The first time in Chicago, the first dance.
The first time in Chicago. There was still, it was a fluid situation until shortly before that, as I remember, but they had the hold on the building and a blah blah blah, and it kind of organically grew, and it was a comeback after
Fucking
7
camper.
years away of somebody who had, regardless of what you think of Punk, a big star who had said, "I'm never going to do this again." And now, oh shit! And the conditions were right. It was like the thunderstorms. The conditions were right. But with this, if you knew she was going to be there, if you had your deal made in time, for the last month on television, talk about it. In her hometown, the legendary New Boston Garden, the former, whatever they can get away with saying, you know who she was. She's going to debut in AEW because she didn't goddamn really do anything. You couldn't have, it wasn't like a surprise angle where she comes from under the ring and fucks or tears the door off the cage and tombstones the Undertaker. There was, so, yes, say for a month she's going to debut. What's she going to, is she going to talk? Is she going to wrestle? You don't have to say that. She will be here live from her hometown, but she will let everybody know what her condition is after her injury and what her plans are for AEW. And then you could have her, if she's from that town, I assume the 9,000 people that were in the Garden know that, that's what their attraction was, but can she get media in Boston? She's been with the WWE. Send her to fucking Boston to do the morning radio show. They could have held more. They could have sold more tickets if they'd have tried hard. So, yeah, but not only for your ratings, maybe to build some anticipation, whatever the anticipation of the addition of Mercedes Moan.
This sucks, but this game's too slow, bro. Not gonna fucking play it through. Why? What's the point? I'm trying to join the game that everybody else is on, bro. But look, it's full, bro.
Well, yay or nay, either one.
Monet, not yay or nay, Monet.
Well, Moni. Fucking, and I think
Tommy
we're
James
alone
and the
now.
Shondells. That's right. Great band.
I think I'm going to
Records.
be alone here if you don't quit chiming in. That's what I'm saying. Use it for ratings if she's got some cachet in the industry. Use it for publicity to sell some tickets to this fucking off-brand show you're producing. Blanket the world with it, because why not? There was nothing that was of a surprise element. And then she ran in at the last match, which you knew was going to happen, which I believe we said earlier, before the ratings came in the previous part of the program. They put her on first, and, the smart fans would know, well, she's there to run in with Willow and whatever the fuck's going to go on there. But it wasn't like you were told. They couldn't advertise. Yeah, she's going to run in at the end of the show and interfere. But so the casual, fuck you, there is no casual person watching this fucking fiasco. But that's the point. That's why. Because most people, well, it's over. And as a matter of fact, many of these goddamn people, it's over. It's over. It's over.
It's over, but they're not over. But let's get back to the crystal blue persuasion that is AEW Dynamite here.
Very good.
I knew it was done.
Of course, it's very good. I know
Felix Chiapitas.
AEW Dynamite.
Goddamn, just because he's from New Jersey.
He's not from New Jersey.
Well, he ought to be. He looks like it. Go ahead.
He may look like it. AEW Dynamite on TBS, March 13th, 2024, as reported by WrestleNomics. Quarter 1, 8 to 8:15 p.m. The Mercedes Moné live promo.
Well, and let's go ahead and start getting there, because basically the match was over when Darby got clocked with the title belt by his friend or ex-friend Nick Wayne, and Christian covered him, and 1, 2, 3, and Mama Wayne was upset at Nick, and again, as I mentioned, the first part of that match, most of it was great until the whole stair thing, and it fell apart, and then it got ridiculous with the ring being taken apart, and just that visual is so stupid. Then, Christian is holding Darby, and Nick is on him, a slapping him, and a punching him, and a kicking him, and then here comes Darby's friend Sting. And he was really walking with purpose. If somebody is just beating the bejesus out of you, and a friend of yours is coming to help, and they move at the pace that Sting was moving, would you question their dedication to your friendship?
Is this the first time we've seen Sting come out without his music playing?
Well, I think at least because it was unplanned. At least they figured that out after we've been screaming
I mean, Sting is really, really old.
that for 4 years, but couldn't he move a little quicker?
Yeah, but everything else that's an unplanned run-in on the show, everyone had their music on this show. Had their music playing, had videos playing.
Well, maybe he said, you know what? Don't play my music. It'll be a bigger pop when what happens happens. Who knows? Point is, he didn't look like he was goddamn highly motivated to get there and save poor Darby. But he finally got in the ring. And he made a little bit of an awkward comeback, but the ring was a mess, and the padding was rolled up in the middle, and you couldn't bump safely with a bunch of people in the ring. And then he gave him a few pissy bumps, and then the heel stayed down while Sting walked around, I guess waiting on Dino Douche to get there. Because Dino was a bit late, but finally he got there, and he got on Sting, and Sting went down. And then Christian goes out to get the 2 chairs for the concerto. And like you mentioned, at that point I said, this won't end. It was so slow, and there's no credibility, and there's no realism, because security or cops or extra referees or somebody would be trying to stop mayhem like this. There's no urgency. It's just... Same thing with the WWE when they do these long angles, but nevertheless, suddenly the lights go out. And on the video screen pops up the video of somebody starting up and driving a car. And I wrote, my God, now a video makes the save. Everybody stops what they're doing in the ring to watch somebody that you can't see drive a car, but... helpfully,
I'm gonna kick your ass. Oh wait, there's a movie.
Yeah, there's a movie. Is there Punch and Pie also with the film? And fortunately, they ruined their own surprise when the car, an overhead shot from one of their independent film auteurs that does this shit,
Darby Allin.
They had a shot of the car driving over a street from above where the street had rated R written on the street. So, and you heard the people pop when they saw it. So they blew their own surprise with the fucking introductory faceless car driver video. And then Edge's music hits, which apparently he owns. You think you know me?
Well, he doesn't own it. It's a real band with a real song. They own it, and they will allow Edge to use it wherever he wants. However, what WWE does own is You Think You Know Me. That's why that was changed.
I wasn't well versed enough to know that it was changed. It was the same words.
No,
it was different people.
I think it was a different voice saying, "You think you know him," not "You think you know me."
Oh, maybe it was "You Think You Own Me." Well,
and Tony said yes.
You don't own me anymore. Nevertheless, Edge's music hits in whatever iteration or orchestration of it, and he comes out with